Hello, hello. Are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at me? Who else might you be laughing at? These guys over here? Beware. Are they not totally bereft of any human dignity and respect? Or is it I in such a dismal state that I perhaps can solely ruminate over all that might be viewed as somewhat bad? Am I a lad that cannot laugh, cannot joke, cannot dance the delightful waltz of humor and folly? Golly, Gomer, what's the matter with you? Put down that fist and try to Lollapalooza, too. Yes, you and you and you and you. For a moment or two, set aside your worries and concerns, your trials and tribulations, thoughts of the current presidential administration. If I, this ogre and a half, could, so can you. Laugh and learn and heal and yearn to grow well and good. Maybe tonight you'll get lucky. Or at least beat the heat blasted up here via southern Kentucky. Welcome. This is Stories, Wisdom, and Recipes. My name is Lawrence Pugliese, and on today's show we have Impulse Improv, as well as Senor Sam Stavala. Are you laughing at me? Good. Without further ado, Impulse Improv.
Hello everybody, we are Impulse Improv, and the first skit that we're going to perform for you today is called Dating Game. And the first thing that we need to do is, Schwartz, you've got to leave the room. And the reason why Schwartz is leaving the room is because he's going to become a bachelor or bachelorette, depending on who he decides to become when he comes back, on a dating game show. And our three fine also eligible bachelors or bachelorettes are Baxter, Buddy, and Seti. And they need some personality traits and quirks and occupations, and they're going to act them out, and Schwartz's job is to guess their quirks and disabilities. So we need, like, Larry, I don't know if you want to help us or if Senor Stavala wants to help, but maybe an occupation with maybe, you know.
And these are bachelorettes?
Or bachelors.
Or bachelors.
It depends on the occupation sometimes.
Okay. You want me to pick some?
Anything.
Okay. How about none?
What's wrong with the nun?
What's wrong with the
nun?
nun?
Yeah, we need a little something that's off. Maybe usually we get things like obsessive compulsive disorder or Tourette's syndrome or anything of that nature.
How about both of those?
Both of those.
Okay.
Do you?
Baxter
can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so we need one for Dane or Jeff now.
A prostitute.
A prostitute. Okay, and what's wrong with the prostitute?
Shy.
Okay, a shy prostitute.
Okay.
I don't know which one of you is going to be better at that. And we need one for, I guess, Jeff, since you've kind of nodded to the shy prostitute.
A female governor.
Can you do that?
All right.
All right. Okay. So I'm bringing Schwartz back in. He's exited the room, and this is Dating Game.
He's locked out.
Oh no.
Let me just get my effects, I'm sorry.
So it's going to be lesbianism, I think.
Hi, my name is Tamara Wade, and I'm hoping to get a date today. Okay, contestant number 1. If I was a flavor ice cream cone, what flavor would I be, and would you get me in a cone or a bowl?
Well, we're not allowed to have bowls in the convent anymore. I scrubbed them all into powder late last night. So I guess a cone would be perfect, and I like to make sure that bit by bit the ice cream disappears so not one single drip gets down the side of the cone. And the bleeding puppies! And that the cone is perfect at all times, like our Lord Savior.
Oh, well, yeah, totally. Contestant number 2.
Hi, sweet thing.
Hi. It's our first date, and I'm like totally chilly. Do you drape your coat over me, or do you just turn on the heater in the car?
Jeez, look at my face asking me those questions. Well, I guess I'd probably take off my boa and maybe my fishnets, and I'd wrap you in those to keep you warm. and I might give you a little back rub or something, as long as too many people weren't looking. And then I guess I'd charge you $30 and I'd be on my way.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Contestant number 3.
Yes?
How are you?
I'm fine.
That's fantastic. I'm doing good as well.
Great.
Okay, it's a choice between Chinese food or Indian food. Now, I'm allergic to spicy food with pepper. Which one do you choose based on the pepper servings?
You see, we have to be accepting of all different kinds of food, and we shouldn't be forced to choose, actually. In our community, I think we should actually mix both foods together and eat it as one.
Oh, okay, that would sound yummy.
Chaos.
Okay. Contestant number 1. You are building a roller coaster and you're going to name it after me. How many loops do you think it would have? And would it be really, really fast and exciting or kind of slow and boring?
Well, first I'd say the Hail Mary 78,000 times to ensure the safety of humanity. And then I'd probably put loop after loop after loop after loop after loop after rubber nipples!
Okay. Wow, I would totally get sick on that, but that's okay because I love rides. Contestant number 2.
Yes.
We're at a pet store and I want a puppy, but your budget does not allow you to buy me a puppy. Do you buy me the puppy or do you try to convince me to buy an iguana instead?
Well, actually, I try to convince the guy next to you to buy me, so then I can afford to buy you the puppy, because I like to please people as often as possible. But hopefully it wouldn't be a real busy pet store, because, you know, too many people walking around, I get the hibbity-jibbities.
Oh, I know. Contestant number 3. Oh, lovely. Okay, we're going clothes shopping.
Yes.
And you see this wonderful red dress that you would totally love to see me in. Do you buy it for me on a surprise, or do you just pull me over, buy it for me, and say, here you go, here's your dress, now model it for me?
Well, actually, I'd probably buy it for you with taxpayers' money, and that way everybody benefits from your beautiful red dress.
I'm a little embarrassed to ask you this, but could you shake my hand and just kiss this baby real quick?
Absolutely.
Thanks. Thanks.
Okay, I'm gonna guess now. Baxter is an obsessive compulsive nun with Tourette's.
Right on the button.
Got it.
You are a shy prostitute.
2 for 2.
And you are a congressman type of guy?
Type of
girl?
guy?
Type of
Yeah.
girl?
Female governor.
Female governor.
Pretty much 3 for 3.
Alright.
Even round of applause.
There you go.
Cool. People at home, feel free to clap too.
Impulse Improv. All right. All right. Will you guys come back to the table, or is that the skit?
Yeah, that's
that's
the
over.
end. That's scene.
Why don't you guys come to the table while the gentlemen from Impulse Improv are getting situated here at the table. We have for you on the screen another cartoon from our friend Timothy Kreider. The Pain When Will It End is the title of his strip. Excuse me. And this particular piece is called Freedom of Speech. Freedom of Speech. Rock on, Timothy Kreider. You can check out his work on the internet. Just type in The Pain When Will It End in a search and you'll get to his website. He's incredible. He's world renowned in the fringe cartoonist realm of things. Everybody set? All right, we're on. Welcome back. Stories, Wisdom, and Recipes. And here we have with us the talented Impulse Improv. And to go around the horn here, I just want to let you know who everybody is. We have Jeff Seti Hopkins, Chris Hughes, Dane Buddy Bauer, Schwartz, the big guy, and Baxter A. McGillicuddy. Nice to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah. First time anyone has ever said rubber nipples on the show.
Good.
Happy that we've moved to that point.
We've done a lot of firsts for the area.
That's awesome. I mean, you guys are all from the Scranton area, northeastern Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone in the group was, well, except for Artie, who's not here today. He was born in New Jersey. Poor guy.
But we don't hold it against him. We got him in the group anyway.
He can't be nearly as funny as you guys. Being from the Scranton area, everybody I've ever met from Scranton has some weird take on life.
Everybody in Scranton is a character.
Oh, no
and
doubt.
We draw from all of them.
Do you? That was a kind of question I was going to ask you. Do you draw from your your surroundings to put into your act?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because there's some quirky people in the area, and they make for good characters more than anything on the planet. Just a good base for a character. Doesn't matter what skit it is. And I think along with the people in the area, we also provide excellent characters to interact with other characters. And I think a prime example is the Bill and Edgar characters that Schwartz and Baxter created.
Bill and Edgar, we're going
Bill
to see
and
some of that later?
I don't know.
You could see it
Most
whenever you
likely.
want.
We can bring them into the interview
They actually
right now.
can't. They actually can't control themselves. They just come out sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it might take
Yeah.
up the rest of the program. Unfortunate.
Bill, well, if they come, I'd like to meet them. I really would.
Oh, Bill, don't start. You don't control me! All right, Bill, just continue with the interview.
Can I have a popsicle?
Bill, there ain't no popsicles here.
What's the relationship between Bill and Edgar?
Well,
He stole my store from me.
Bill, I knew him growing up. He was my old boss. And Bill, get up. All right, whatever. And when I've never been on television before. When I grew, when I was a man, he went nuts.
Damn it! Oh.
And I took over his grocery store, and he lives in my garage for free, might I add. And he annoys me and my wife, but we put up with him because we love him.
Where's Simmons?
And he has a dead dog named Simmons that he keeps around the house.
Stuffed or just rotting?
It's stuffed with sawdust.
All right, Bill and Edgar here. How'd you like that, folks? You guys are welcome to stay as long as you like. I'm going to bounce around the table.
I think Baxter is full into Bill now.
You ever get afraid you'll never come back?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, I think
they're
we
too
get
far
afraid.
gone. Yeah. You'll see them out on the street, and they'll be talking to each other like that anyway. So
This is the first time I've actually heard his voice.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Schwartz.
Baxter.
This is good for late night TV, no doubt, after coming back from the bog. Watching
Yeah,
that.
if you've been drinking heavily, not only will we be more attractive, we'll be more
Enjoy.
amusing.
Now, did you guys meet each other in high school or just hanging around town,
Field.
college?
Well, one of the guys that's in the group that's not here, John McNulty, I went to high school with him, but he actually didn't join the group until after everyone else did. It was a strange thing. I met Jeff while I was in high school, but we weren't in high school together. He went to Abington. I went to Lackawanna Trail. Go Lions. And basically, we ended up in a different improv group that existed before Impulse Improv called On the Spot Improv. They were in the Scranton area for a few years. I was in the group, and then Jeff came in a few months after I joined, and we worked together for a few years. And when I started this new group, he was the first person I went to join me with it. So,
And how'd you hook up with Chris and...
we had our first workshop to start Impulse Improv at Keystone College at Brooks Theater, and about 3 people showed up, one of whom was Chris, the other one was Artie, who's another member of the group that's not here. And we just kind of put together this sort of ragtag, scruffy group of improv kids, most of whom had never done improv before in their lives. Me and Jeff, I think, were the only people that actually had any experience in it. So me and Jeff took a week to train the rest of the guys, and we started the group.
How many years now?
2.5 years
2.5
ago,
years?
that was.
What got you into comedy improv? Why did you choose to get so involved in this sort of art?
But for me, it was I actually saw a show that On the Spot put on, and I enjoyed it enough to go up to the guys after the show and ask them, how do you do this? And that's basically how I got involved. They said they ran workshops, and I got involved with those, and then eventually joined that group. And it was just a lot of fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I pretty much did it because I knew that like a couple years down the road from now, I'd be sitting here with you, enjoying this delicious cup of chamomile mango tea, which is superb, incidentally.
So
actually,
this
I
show
think-
was your motivation.
Exactly.
All right, yes, I knew we were.
I think everybody joined for their own different reasons. I pretty much joined because a guy that I was really close friends with in high school, he mentioned, we'd just sit around and just kind of banter like we are now. We'd just goof around. And he was already a member of On the Spot, and he said, I want you to come check it out. Just come to a practice, see what you think of it. And I did, and there was no turning back. Ever since then, I did it. So.
And Schwartz?
I always wanted to do comedy, and I never really found because I didn't want to do it by myself, so I never really found any outlet to do it. And when I came to Keystone, there was an orientation for it, and I met all these guys, and they held their workshop thingy, and me and my friend Derek and another kid named Chris were the only 3 really doing it. and I wanted to do it really bad, so I kind of forced my way in.
Yeah, he came to practice before he was even in the group.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
We didn't have any openings for members. There were 6 of us at the time, and I thought that was we had a good group chemistry, and the 6 of us worked really well together. And I kind of decided, that's where we're just gonna keep these 6, and there won't be any openings. And then he
saw what
came
he was
around, and he
capable
was
of.
he wouldn't go away.
No.
He just stuck around, and you could tell that it was something that he really wanted to do badly. So eventually, it made no sense to keep him out of the group because he was just. Plus, he refused to shower unless we let him in the group.
Yeah.
I remember.
Shower strike you went at?
I remember one really cold, rainy night. I was watching them practice, kind of just scratching at the window. They let me in.
Oh, so you used perseverance, you used pity,
Uh-huh.
you used stink.
Smell.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you paid them as
Little,
well?
just a little
A little
bit.
bit? Not
Actually,
bad.
we paid him to go away. That was the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he came back.
The
so.
chemistry seems to be here.
Absolutely.
Definitely does.
that's a large part of. It's just like hanging out with your friends in front of people, and
Yeah.
There was a behind-the-scenes fighting and throwing of makeup at each other.
There
No,
was
I
talk of a
mean-
breakup show once, but
Yeah,
I don't know
that
if
was-
we
that
was
just-
good. we were
I thought we were
actually
gonna come back.
contemplating. We were contemplating calling one of our shows the breakup show and faking a fight during the end of the show and just leaving, so that the audience would just kind of sit there thinking what just happened, and then we would just disappear for a month, and then we'd have a big comeback show.
triumphant return.
But the whole time we would just be hanging out anyway, like we just
Practicing.
wouldn't see us
clearly hanging out together.
Oh.
Yeah.
But we decided that might alienate a few of our fans. They might be angry by that, since we have thousands and thousands
Yeah,
of adoring
throngs.
fans.
They're
Yeah.
outside waiting. We have the paparazzi out there.
Yeah, well, that's why we carry
Yeah,
pepper spray.
we want Impulse Improv. I can hear them chanting. They are. Okay, another question for you guys. This is a little heavier. What is the point of comedy in the context of humanity?
I got to say something very brief on this, but I think in most things in life, and I say this a lot, you either laugh about it or you cry about it. And I think laughing about something is much more productive.
And healthier.
Yeah. Yeah, laughter's the best medicine. There's another one. But I think you either laugh about it or you cry about it. It's much easier to laugh about things sometimes. So, because you could cry for days and not change anything.
That's right.
I don't even think it's a matter of it being easier. I think we have to. Like as human beings, I think we have to laugh, and to be able to be in a position that we're in, where like our point is to go out and get people to laugh, is just awesome. It's such a fun, unique opportunity, because almost every time we do this show, someone comes up to at least me, probably these guys too, and says, "I can't believe you can do that. You can just get up there and make people laugh and have so much fun." And I think it's rare that people can do that, and that you can get 7 guys together that have so much fun. And that's all we do. Like, we go up there for 2 hours and we just make people laugh, and we have the time of our lives. And it's just a cool position to be in.
Yeah, it's a great art, and it's a great public service as well, in my estimation. And you're probably making tons of money, right?
Millions.
You guys all came up with
I arrived in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
The new one.
My money
the new one.
before
The
I
new
got
one.
your
here.
money code.
My Maserati is parked. Is
I
that
thought I
it?
saw y'all
Yeah.
coming in a Pinto.
I walked.
That's when we park the Batmobile and the helicopters, we park it a few blocks down. The Pinto is our disguise.
Right.
Yeah, just to keep
high
it real.
cover.
To
Right.
keep it real.
Yeah, because we don't need that kind of aggravation.
The leg's not really broken. It's just full of hundreds
Money.
of dollars.
That's a money cast.
Yeah.
Well, does
Just
money
in
ever
case.
come into play? Do your loved ones say to you, guys, all right, this is cool, you're having fun, but what are you going to do when you grow up?
I don't want
Dance?
to. Ever.
Um,
I think if you grow up, you inherit problems.
I have every intention of doing this.
Yeah, so do I.
As long as I'm alive, as long as
Yeah.
there's breath in me, I'm gonna do this. Just because it's what I know best, and it's what I like most. So to be able to have those two things, what you know best and what you love most, to have that be the same thing,
Oh, you're lucky.
you've got to stick with it, because otherwise you're never gonna feel like yourself if you don't do that.
No, you do lose yourself in general if you're not following your bliss, as Joseph Campbell has said. He's a real cool kind of you know Joseph Campbell?
The soup guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly. It's on the back of one of the cans. Check a new. Mr. McGillicuddy, did we get to you as to how you got caught up with these guys? Or
No, and I am outraged.
I saw you. You were getting a little tense there.
It kind of happened to me on accident, actually. Schwartz mentioned the orientation program at Keystone. The year before, Buddy and Chris were my counselors, and improv/theater was actually my third choice. I don't even remember what the other two were, but I got put in that. I was like, I don't really want to do this, and then I saw them doing it, and I was like, wow, that's cool, and they're both unattractive like me, so I can do this too. Basically, it came down to, at the end of the, 2 days of orientation, me up on stage with them, and everyone else just kind of sitting watching us.
Do you agree with what your colleagues have said about the significance of comedy in society? Same.
I do. And people ask me that. I don't know why people ask me that all the time, but people that don't even know that I do this come up and ask that for some reason, and I say, hey, I don't know you, but I think that's good to laugh. But then again, people cry when I do improv, so I don't know what the point is.
If I can't
Maybe you're
speak,
poignant. Maybe you're poignant.
if I can speak for Baxter, I've got to say, I think out of everybody that I've seen come through the group, we've had a couple members that were here and gone, and people that are with us now. But I think out of everybody in the group, it might have brought Baxter out the most out of everybody. Like when I met him, he was just this quiet, weird kid. But when he did talk, when he said stuff, it was one of those deals where he had this very small, tight group of people that he was comfortable enough around to talk to. And when he said stuff, it was a riot. And I think in the past year and a half since he joined the group, he's just gotten so much more outward and just funnier.
Well, you get. I'm sorry.
I went from being a quiet, weird person to an obnoxious, weird person.
Me too.
At least you're consistently weird.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true, I guess.
you haven't lost yourself.
Except when.
When all the other characters come out.
How does one get good at improvisation?
As odd as it sounds, practice.
Practice.
Yeah.
And we get the question all the time, how do you practice for something you do off the top of your head? And
The answer is, it's all lies. This is all pre-scripted.
It's all contrived.
Suckers.
He's a robot.
We just program it all into Chris. That's it.
Well, Schwartz knew exactly what was going on during your first skit.
but you watched him leave.
Yeah, I did watch, and he had his fingers. I was
Yep.
watching through the window in his ears.
I was looking at the books, looking for a last name. I found one.
Any last name?
It was Wade. Yeah.
Wait. That's
But yeah, I try to stay away from it. I heard it once. I'm gonna tell the truth right now. I heard it not here, during orientation, and I cheated.
Get out.
I know.
You're out of
That's
the
it,
group.
man. You're done.
Turn in your lavalier.
Before I take a sip of this tea.
How about this one? This is another sort of, I guess, deep question. Is there any other human endeavor you could equate to improvisational comedic theater? Any other human endeavor you can equate to what you do?
In what way? Like,
Kind of making people forget about things for a little while, the way that we do.
Whatever, you take that wherever you want. You understand the question? I mean, I know.
I think I do.
What other human endeavor? I mean, human endeavor, anything that a human does in this world, what would you equate to what you guys do up on stage together?
I think
What's similar?
Chris would probably agree, being a parent, because you just kind of have
Yeah.
to make it up as you go along. You really have no idea what you're doing.
I hear that.
And Baxter and I share that endeavor from time. Well, not
They're
with the same
married.
child.
Yeah.
Not with the same child or with each other. It's not that kind of group, Larry.
Hey,
But no.
not that there's anything wrong with
Well,
it.
no, I'm not discrediting it, but now Baxter and I both have children, and he's right. You make it up as you go along, and I mean your parents are always there to offer advice, and just as we're there to offer advice for character development and how to handle Tourette's syndrome and in a skit and things like that, and the wrong way to handle Tourette's syndrome, most importantly. But yeah, I think parenting is one of those things where you just have that direct effect on somebody.
And it's by the seat of your pants.
Yeah,
As is
absolutely.
the improvisational comedic theater, as I'm dubbing it. I don't even know if I'm using the right phraseology here.
I like
Close
that.
enough.
I think we're gonna start putting that on.
That sounds
flyers.
better, than what we put on there.
Short form improvisational comedy.
Funny
Comedic
guys.
theater fits so much better.
Funny guys that do things. Put on the flyers
Come
right
yell
now.
I
things.
don't know, the last one I saw just said pants.
Pants?
Yeah.
There wasn't
That's
even
your
a date
fault.
on it.
You guys have any idea, any sort of? You said the human endeavor would be parenting. How about
playing darts.
playing darts?
Yeah.
They're similar.
Because, I sit around at the bar. I'm one of the older gentlemen of the group. I'm actually of age. And I watch these guys play darts, and I think to myself, well, that doesn't seem so hard. And then I do it and I suck at it. And that's what people do with improv all the time. They think, oh, that's easy. And then when you watch normal people like you try to do it, you stink. So just come see us and give us your money.
Don't alienate potential fans.
Well, no, I'm going to make them feel like they can't do it, so they pay to watch us do it.
That's terrible.
But no,
cool
I just,
psychology's got going on.
He's good.
honestly, I think it's, in all seriousness, I would just compare it to just to life in general. I think it kind of mirrors it in the fact that our skits, when you see them performed, it is stuff made off the top of our head and everything, but each game does have its own little form, its little pattern. And I think in life you fall into routines that you're expected to do that hold your life together, but everything else is just kind of crazy coming at you. Take it as it comes and roll with it. And that's how improv is. I know. I know.
I'm trying to think of there was a quote by Groucho Marx. He said something to the effect that
I was actually trying to think of that.
Were you?
Before when you asked that comedy question, but I couldn't.
something about all logic gone to chaos or something like that. Something, life's logic gone to chaos or something to that effect.
I'm familiar with what you're saying because I'm a big fan of the Marx Brothers, Schwartz and Baxter also.
I am as well. I have some quotes here actually that I typed out in honor of your appearance. I read in the newspapers they're going to have 30 minutes of intellectual stuff on television every Monday from 7:30 to 8 to educate America. They couldn't educate America if they started at 6:30. Groucho Marx. So after the show, shut off the TV. We have 5 more minutes, and I want to ask you a couple other questions here. Really quickly, what artists have influenced you over the years?
I'm more of a stand-up comedy fan. I used to memorize stand-up comedy routines before I got into this group, which is really kind of brought me out of that element, which is wonderful. But Dane Cook, Nick Swartzen, Greg Barron, even Chris Farley, who didn't do stand-up, and Mitch Hedberg, delivery-wise, Mitch Hedberg is an icon, just because that dry humor. Yeah. I hope I didn't steal anybody's.
You stole all of them.
Yeah, I have nothing left. Thanks. I like. I always enjoyed the Saturday Night Live scene and the people like the not yet ready for primetime players like Bill Murray and even though he wasn't technically on Saturday Night Live, Steve Martin was always a big comedic inspiration. But even I think you can be inspired by stuff other than other comedians, you know, like just actors in general. I think Kevin Spacey. I think people that inspire me are just the people that are the best at what they do. It doesn't necessarily even have to be acting. Like Salvador Dali. I have my whole room is just like from one end to the other. It's just Salvador Dali artwork, just because he just sort of did his thing and he went with it, and he got people thought he was insane, but he didn't care because it was what he liked doing and it was his passion. And I think just people that care enough about what they love to go forward with it no matter what.
Sounds pretty cool. Dali was hip and on the cutting edge until he took his last breath. In my opinion, people like that are inspiring. I would have to agree. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to say Chris Farley for obvious reasons. His energy was just amazing, and like I love that. Like he was a big guy, but he was able to do the flips and like all this wild stuff. But then when he would be interviewed, he'd be like all calm and like nervous. Like you could see how like nervous he was.
Sweat.
Yeah,
he was a sweater.
Yeah, and Robin Williams.
Yeah,
definitely. For the same thing, the energy and the voices and all that stuff.
Now, Robin Williams' inspiration was
Jonathan Winters.
Jonathan
Winters. And Lithgow. He liked him too.
I liked him in Harry and the Hendersons myself.
And Jonathan Winters is huge.
Oh yeah, he is, and he's a manic depressive too. That's one thing I found. A lot of comedians have a sort of melancholy side to them. Not all, but a lot of the greats that I've read about. I don't know if you guys do, and you don't have to get into that now.
I cut myself just to make sure I'm still alive.
And I think that goes back to you laugh about it or you cry about
right,
it.
Yeah. Right.
Which is strange.
I don't know that everybody has like this horrible, dark, you know, crying in a closet side to them, but I think everybody has to, like, every good comedian has to have an appreciation for the bad times. as well as the good times, because you draw from both, really. If you can take a time in your life that was really crappy and make it through that, and then in another time when that's the scars that feel a little bit, if you can look back on it and sort of make fun of yourself for it and make fun of the situation, I think it helps so much more with the healing process and just moving on.
Yeah,
So,
you grow when you're that honest and you can laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Do you have anything to say, McGill Cuddy?
He already covered Marx Brothers, Stooges, Charlie Chaplin. I like a lot of older stuff like that. I like physical comedy. And my favorite thing about the Marx Brothers is that in a lot of their scenes, there's just so much movement and so much stuff just keeps happening and piling up. Like in Duck Soup, when their uniforms change, like every camera shot. Yeah, I just love that kind of comedy. That comedy that some people just don't get, no matter how hard they try.
Yeah.
Like everyone in my family who makes me watch it in the basement by myself. With the spiders and the god-awful musty smell.
The Marx Brothers. Check out some Marx Brothers if you haven't yet. Last question for you guys. This is, again, wide open. With what in this life, at present, can comedy help? With what in this life can comedy help?
Everything but sex.
Everything but sex.
Don't crack jokes when you're getting it on.
Yep.
Bad. Kills the moment.
Yeah.
Not that
Especially
I would
if it's at her expense.
Yeah.
Oh, your little techies were almost cleaning up my tea because I won't do it. No, I think comedy helps.
Did you like that techie comment? Oh God!
They weren't favorable.
Don't-
They're turning off your mic.
Don't upset the crew.
The show comes on, I'm completely edited out. Just a smiley face over my head.
Jar Jar Binks isn't there where he used to
You sound like a comedy.
Okay, so anything but sex. You guys have any comments?
I think that covered it.
be.
Coincidentally
that
enough.
was everything right
And
there.
Baxter, not at her expense.
Yeah.
Insight.
Beautiful. You are watching Stories, Wisdom, and Recipes. My name is Lawrence, and these guys are Impulse Improv. There's one guy missing.
There's two guys
Two
missing.
guys missing. And we're going to see another skit from you folks right now, right?
Sure.
Is this us?
Myself and yourself, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We're going to try not
Impulse
to.
Improv. Well, let's give them a moment to get situated. They're going to go right into their thing. Again, improvisational comedic theater at its best in northeastern Pennsylvania. Impulse Improv.
Oh, I'm good.
And we have Senor Sam Stavala coming up in a moment with recipe Ossobuco. So stay tuned. Am I on the camera? Am I on? Yeah, you're on? Okay, go for it. Okay, let's shift.
Sure. The skit we're about to perform for you is called Alphabet Line Scene. It's simple enough. What we need from you is a letter of the alphabet.
Anybody here can give us
F.
F.
F. Wonderful, thank you.
I know what they're
And
thinking.
the next thing we need is an activity.
Watch it.
What's that?
No, I was telling the crew to watch it. F. I know
oh.
how they think.
Skydiving? Skydiving. All right. So how the scene works is my first sentence is going to start with the letter F. Then his will start with G, H, I, J, K, all the way through the alphabet, back around to F again. And that's when we stop the scene. So we are skydiving. Let's say we're getting ready to skydive.
Yeah,
That'll
preparing
be better.
this guy would
And,
be much easier to act out.
And our letter is F.
Okay.
Flight school's almost over, Timmy. I think we're about certified to skydive.
Good job. It's been a long, hard road for you and me.
Hey, I worked hard, man.
I can't find my backpack. Have you seen it?
Just look behind the coat rack.
Coat rack. It's Russian. It starts with a K.
My.
Yeah.
You skipped L, you know.
Now, I think you skipped out.
Oh, my bad.
Perhaps we should put those helmets on.
Quite right. They're so small.
Really? Especially with my big head, this isn't going to fit well.
Small helmets and big heads do not mix.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's why I said it wasn't going to mix.
Let me just put on this bigger one.
Very nice. You know, you kind of look like Darth Vader.
X-ray. Check it out. It's an X-ray of someone's rib cage on the helmet. That's the picture.
Wow. You skipped another letter and went right to X.
Yep.
Zounds! This is probably the worst alphabet line scene we've ever done.
Alphabet line seems harder than it looks, people.
Boy, oh boy, you better believe it.
Cool. We got the helmets. I got 2 juice boxes.
Dude, apple?
Everything you need is in an apple. Keeps the doctor away. Now all we need is a plane.
Fair enough. And C.
So I skipped 2 letters. Okay. Impulse Improv here on Stories, Wisdom, and Recipes. And we have Senor Sam Stavala at the table. Gentlemen, you guys can sit around, feel comfortable. Mr. McGillicuddy, you don't have a mic, so if you talk, people won't hear you. You're going to have to get closer to your buddy Schwartz there.
I'm down with pantomime.
Closer.
Senor.
This is not a funny recipe.
No?
No, I hope I don't disappoint you.
I like the shirt.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So how are you?
Good.
We haven't seen you in a...
Summer going all right for you?
It's a little hot.
Yeah.
How do you like the guys?
I like it very much. Very nice change to the show. Yeah.
Usually we have those rock musicians
Yeah.
or those
I'm
jazz
okay,
cats.
Thank you, I'm fine.
But a little comedy, I thought.
Yeah, sounds good. What nice change.
So anything new with you?
I'm going to take a little trip over the weekend. No, nothing really.
No, nothing really?
Same old, you know?
How's the wife?
She's good. She's very good.
Still watching the Yankees?
Still watching the Yankees. They won last night. I'm very proud to say. Maybe we should get right to this recipe.
I was going to ask you if there was a God, but if you want to go into the recipe.
No, that's. I'd rather talk about the recipe.
Okay.
This is.
I like how we got him.
This is a little lengthy.
Okay, let's go
And
then.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. This you do in a couple of segments here. The first, we gave the name of the recipe.
Ossobuco.
Ossobuco, the classic ossobuco.
And that must have something to do with the mouth, because boco means mouth, no?
It's hole in the bone.
And the bone. Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah. And it's made with veal shanks. Have you ever had it?
At your house?
No, anywhere.
No, I think I had it at your house.
Oh,
one
have
time.
you?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
invited me over one time and we had it.
Yeah, we make this every once in a while. This is a nice dish. And it's classically served with the risotto milanese. That's an arborio rice done a la risotto fashion with saffron. It's a nice dish. As a matter of fact, I'll probably give the recipe for the risotto next month.
Okay.
So the combination, I want everybody to have this combination. But this I do in sections. The first thing you have to do is make a veal broth. Now, we're not going to get too carried away with this. In other words, we're not going to roast the veal bones and everything. We're just going to mix some beef broth and some chicken broth, and that would suffice as far as the veal broth is concerned.
What would be getting carried away? Roasting?
Well, roasting the bones and making it, you know, you're roasting veal bones. We don't want to do that. It's too time consuming. So what you need for this broth is about 20 ounces of low salt beef broth and 20 ounces of low salt chicken broth. Put that in a 3-quart sauce pot. Add a couple of chopped up carrots, a chopped up onion, a garlic clove, a couple of plum tomatoes. The canned are fine. A couple of bay leaves. And then you just bring that to a simmer and let it simmer for a good hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
Yeah. Then you strain it, and you just put that aside.
We're not using a mill in this
No,
process?
we don't need to use the mill. You got your broth flavored now and ready to go. So now that and I like to do that the day before because, as I say, you do it in segments. So that's the first segment. The next, you need several ingredients. About a 1/4 cup of a light vegetable oil and 6 meaty veal shanks. 1 sweet onion, 3 carrots, 1 garlic clove, a rib of celery with the leaves, 3 ounces of tomato paste, a quart of dry red wine, about a 1/4 cup of dry sherry, and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Okay? And another part of this is making a roux, because your roux is going to serve as your thickening agent.
A roux.
A roux. That's like, well, it'd be butter and flour.
never-
Or oil and flour.
A roux. Is that a French word or something?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's a thickener.
A thickener.
Yeah.
You don't buy the roux, you make the roux.
You make it, yeah. You melt a 1/2 stick of butter in a small skillet, and to that you add a 1/2 cup of flour, mix it well into the melted butter, and let that cook for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, keeping it light and colored. Now the reason I say that, the longer you cook a roux, the darker it'll get. You don't want it too dark. So cook it for about 4 minutes, keep it light, and just set it aside.
The word roux, I can't get it. It's just an odd word. Roux.
That is R-O-U-X.
It's like a hip way of saying kangaroo or something.
No,
like
it's
that.
it's
a kangaroo dish.
What can I tell you? It's part of the recipe, and
I like it. I like
thinking see, this ossobuco is going to be served in a gravy that's very thick and very rich and very flavorful, and the thickness of the gravy really comes from the roux. See, now you could do it maybe with some other ingredients, but I like this. Arrowroot is another thickening agent.
What's it called?
Arrowroot.
Arrowroot.
I'm not sure.
You hear me with all these words I've never heard of.
Yeah, well, you don't cook.
I don't. I
Okay.
try. But.
All right, we got the veal broth. We got that put aside. We got the roux made. We got that put aside. Now we're ready to tackle the veal shanks. Oil them up a little bit, and then lightly salt and pepper them. Put them in a pan large enough to hold them without too much crowding, and you want to brown those shanks well. You want to get a good crust on them, and then take them out and set them aside.
I think you're giving these guys tons of material.
Yeah?
Yeah. The phrases you're using, like brown the shanks and stuff. That's funny stuff.
Hey, feel free to use it.
You remember one time we were doing the radio show?
Yeah.
I never told you the story.
Yeah.
And you were talking about preparing chicken breasts.
Yeah.
And I got this email saying he was going through the radio dial and he heard you talking about like getting the breast. Plump breast and flouring the brain. He was all confused. He didn't know what was going on. If you're cooking or it was foreplay. He wasn't sure. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't you get arrested once?
Yeah. Where the heck was I?
I don't know.
Okay, we got
Sorry.
we got the broth made, we got the roux made. Now we're ready to tackle the veal shanks. This is the simple part actually. You brown the shanks, and then once they're brown, take them out of the pot that you browned them in, and to that you want to add the sweet onion, the 3 carrots chopped up, a clove of garlic, 1 rib of celery with the leaves, and you want to saute those aromatics on a relatively high heat, and you want to make sure that they caramelize. Mm-hmm. This part of the recipe is probably the most important.
You have to be very particular.
You got to be a little particular here, because you got to let these go for a good 15 minutes. And the problem is, if you let them go without watching them, and without stirring them, and without attending them, they'll burn. No. So you don't want to do that. But you do want to get the caramelization. So that part of the recipe is going to take a good 15 minutes. And once you get that caramelization, then you're going to add the tomato paste, and then add your roux. See, that's where the roux comes in. And then you're going to add a quart of good red wine. Now, when I say good, I'm talking about a good red wine, a good Valpolicella or a Bordeaux, but a good hearty red wine. And that is going to be the base of your gravy. With the vegetables, with the roux and the wine, you're going to get a very flavorful gravy. Cook that, and then you're going to strain it. And then you're going to mix the wine mixture and the veal broth together.
Sounding delicious.
Yeah, it is good. Strain out all vegetables, return the veal shanks, the brown veal shanks, to the broth, put them on and let them simmer a good hour and a half, and that's a wonderful dish. It comes out of there, the veal will come out so tender, it's literally falling off the bone. And that's it.
What are you going to drink with this?
Well, you're going to drink the same kind of wine that you know.
That you made as part of the used as part of the recipe.
Yeah.
The Valpolicella.
Avoid boxed wine then?
Yeah. Boxed wine.
It's not the kind of wine we want to make this.
No, don't use the boxed wine. Not with this one.
You can't replace the hearty red wine with Mad Dog 2020.
I don't think that'd work. No, I don't think that'd work.
These guys are making me laugh so hard, I think I browned my shanks. How about that? We need a drummer in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
The 1 week to not have rock musicians.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
You can brown your shanks, just don't ruin your shorts.
Good stuff. I bet you if we go to check these guys out, they're going to use some of this material.
I
in the
bet
next
they are.
show. Senor Sam, everything's going well. Anything with the club? Anything coming up with the club?
Well, yeah, I do want to mention that our Sons of Italy has a membership drive, and we'll be taking on members. It opens periodically. So anybody interested, feel free to call me or get word to me. Michael's, I want to talk about my son's show, if I may.
Yeah, Michael Stavala working with...
Michael is producing a special on HBO. It's going to be aired, I believe, Sunday.
This Sunday.
It stars
The 18th,
Kevin
June 18th.
James and Ray Romano.
Oh, all right.
And the golf thing, yeah, I think it's making the cut.
Making the cut?
Yeah.
And Michael produced it? Directed it?
Michael produced it, and he did a lot of editing because he was in the editing room with both those guys for about a week. He said they're very, very, very funny. Very funny men. And so that's going to be on Sunday.
HBO, June 18th,
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Do we know what time?
Prime time, but I don't know what.
All right, I'll be checking it out.
Yeah, check it out. And what else is new? Well, that's about it. Life goes on, you know.
Life goes on. We have some big stuff going on this weekend in town. There's tons of stuff going on. I can't list it all, but I was asked to mention a few things before we go. I'm going to do that now. And then we're going to get back to Impulse Improv with another skit here on Stories, Wisdom, and Recipes. Again, this is Senor Sam Stavala, a regular, one of the major personalities, if not the major personality on this program. I know Senator Mello, his wife, Diane, she wants to cook up one of his meals for the senator. What was it? Marsala, right?
Oh, chicken marsala.
Chicken marsala.
It's a nice dish.
He's a big shot everywhere, you know, from top to bottom, whatever that means. But some of the events, let's see here. We have on Saturday a tribute, also a remembrance, if I can find my notes, for Timmy Hopkins. Tribute birthday party at the Bog from 4 to 8 this Saturday, June 18th. There'll be a bunch of bands playing, and all the money is going to the Timmy Hopkins Fund. So check that out if you're of age at the Bog this Saturday. Also, this weekend, the Melanian newspaper, editor Diane Boone, they're having their first annual Unity Picnic this weekend at Naog Park. I believe that's also Saturday from noon till 7 p.m. So look in the paper to check out the exact times and what's going on. And there are a host of things going on in northeastern Pennsylvania. Embrace it. I know a lot of people complain. There's nothing to do around here. There's tons to do. There's tons to do. So look and support these fine artists and actors and what have you in our town. And speaking of fine artists and actors. We're going to go back now to Impulse Improv after I go off on a little spiel. So why don't you guys get ready and I'll do my spiel. Again, Matt Bonowitz. His artwork is behind us. Thank you, Matt, for setting us up. Some new coffee cups we got. Erin bought for the set. She thought it would match Matt's artwork. Thank you, Erin. Thank you also to the crew. We got Phil on camera, Arnold on sound, and of course, as always, Mark McGlory, our director, and Adam, who got us the tea and is also learning a bit about this program. Next time we have a very special episode steeped in semblances of freedom in honor of the 4th of July. That'll be June 29th. We tape, and it'll be airing the weekend of the 4th. And don't forget, in July, we're going to have a little party at my house with OK Patty and Senora Sam's cooking on the grill. Stay tuned for more details. So there you have it, another episode of Stories, Wisdom, and Recipes. I hope you're enjoying the heat. Summertime is upon us. Let's enjoy our family and friends and take good care not to forget what is truly important in this life. Don't get too discouraged for too long. Someone loves you somewhere, I'm sure. We are certainly happy to have you with us here right now. Pinch yourself. You're real, for Christ's sake. Real and important. You are somebody, in the immortal words of Timmy Hopkins. He was somebody too. Still is somebody. Don't forget it. Let each other know. And work toward good things and good places and good vibes and positive traces. Courage and laughter be with you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Here is Impulse Improv.
Allow me to explain this one very briefly. The way this one works is this is a skit called Two-Headed Man, and the way it works is Baxter and Schwartz are the same person with two heads, and they can only speak one word at a time, alternating. And Jeff can speak in the full extent of the English language on his own. And so there's something that we need Jeff to come to, maybe a problem or something that he needs to discuss with Schwartz A. McGillicuddy. Anything at all.
Paternity suit.
A paternity suit. Okay, so Jeff is coming to Schwartz McGillicuddy with problems with his paternity suit. And real quick before we get into the skit, I just want to talk about our website. If you're interested in seeing where we're going to be at, it's www.geocities.com/impulse_improv. And
we tried to make it longer, but they wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be anywhere soon?
Well, the major promotional thing that we're going to be doing coming up is Friday. We're going to be on WBHT with Jen and AJ in the morning, and they've been very accepting of us. And what's the other show, buddy?
July 25th at Lackawanna Trail High School.
July
we'll be
25th.
doing a fundraiser for the Lackawanna Trail Marching Lions, the marching band.
Okay.
And at some point, probably test pattern.
Test pattern, and probably coming up again, Area 51 on Mulberry Street in Scranton.
Awesome.
All right.
Impulse Improv, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, hello there. Yeah. I've got something I need to talk to you fella about.
Hello. How can we help you today, dear?
Well, you see, I've got a problem with my clothes, you see.
I love clothes and I love farts.
Well, I was shopping at the Big and Tall and I got myself this here paternity suit and it doesn't seem to fit.
I think you should buy yourself some peanut brittle and some peanut butter.
Oh, so you're saying if I just fatten myself up, this suit will fit in no time, right?
That is correct, boy.
All right, then, let's hit the buffet.
You are my hero.
Scene.